Hello, this is Timo, and this is another video of my project where I'm talking and building my old Lego. But today we're not going to build. We're doing a catalog again, a Lego catalog, and to be precisely, the Lego catalog from '92. Yes, we can already see the cover. It's a very nice designed cover. Very creative. The year written in Lego bricks, and some probably of the sets that came out are featured on the front. Yes, and that's how most Lego catalogs started always, with just presenting all the different themes that were available for different ages, different kids, girls, boys. And I must say, comparing to the other catalogs, that this is a quite creative way. The kids are just all playing, because some they have like a family or something, and I think this is a bit more like a cooler way, like a more chill way to show everything. So yeah. And of course, yes, there's the Metro Liner, which immediately takes my attention, of course. That's a set that I also own, and that is one of the greatest Lego trains set, I think. Yes, and like every Lego catalog, it starts with Duplo, with the very small of us, babies. I'm not sure if Lego is still offering these toys for the really young ones, but I don't know actually this. I think what I offer now with Duplo in the modern time is way lesser than back then. But yes, back then I think it was a complete thing. Like they offered just for all kind of kids, like toys, like sets. Yes, with Duplo I have very fake memories. I don't know exactly anymore. I remember that I played with it, but I think with Duplo, when you just have a box with all the bricks installed, then it's also very difficult actually to find out which sets you own. I'm not sure even if Duplo had instructions in the box. I never saw actually instructions of Duplo sets. Yeah, and they had quite a lot. They had also everything, like farms and a zoo, animals. And in the time when I was playing with Duplo, I think it was way more not so diverse as I see here. Yes, a lot of different things to choose from. And yes, this is exactly the trains I actually remember still. I never had them, but these black tracks with these coaches, and you could just put them together with two of these, I say that like cabins, but one of the cabin you can also use it for a locomotive or something like this. But this is I think the classical Duplo train as I remember. Very everything is inside. I think this is really like, yeah, the sets are very nice for a child. They are very with one set, the child already has a lot of stuff, like all the things for that team to play with. although a locomotive alone is maybe it seems like no, this is also like a set, yeah, but you could still expand it with yeah. So, and like I did in the previous videos with the catalogs, I have again a list of major events in the year 92. So to give you perspective what we are talking about, because yeah, if you look at these catalogs, which are still in a quite good shape also, then it just seems maybe they are like, I don't know, 10 years old. But so this is 92, and 92 is 32 years old. So there we have more Duplo. There was a lot of Duplo, and I also remember these things that you could actually just build your own house. Very nice, very nice. So February 1st, Bush Senior, President Bush, and Boris Yeltsin declared the Cold War to be over, which was for probably like a kind of symbolic ceremony, but I guess it meant a lot living in that time, that the two major powers basically declared peace for the rest of the world, basically. Yeah, 92, end of the Cold War, while we are still in the Duplo category. The Stulo, yes, I don't remember a lot of it, but it's a kind of Duplo technique, so not Lego technique, but Duplo technique, and yeah, I think it didn't last very long, but I'm not sure. But I think it only lasted for a couple of years, so maybe it was not that successful. But I think to develop this this team, yes, it was a lot of different pieces, new pieces. So and as I can see here, that it was also new in 92, so it was a new thing. And there we have Lego Basic. Yes, I still remember very clear these boxes to store your Lego, and so you could also just buy them, and then I guess, and then you had they were filled up with bricks, mostly, of course, the more classical 2x4 bricks, like you also can see here. So for the young kids, you know, for the chains from Duplo to Lego, to make the step, because they are a bit similar age, I think. Yeah. February 7, the so-called Maastricht Treaty was signed in Maastricht in Holland, and it was the start of the European Union. So that was also quite a major event, especially for Europe. And I think that was a very good thing, because as Europe, as continent, with all the small countries, of course, it was a really wise thing to do to join, to make a kind of federal system, so to stand stronger in the world for different kind of reasons, and also to prevent an inner European war happening again anytime. yeah. And then we have some more Lego Basic. And it's getting a bit more advanced, a bit more smaller parts. And yes, but actually this is a really nice example what you actually rarely see, that Lego still shows just build with it, just be creative, because I don't think this is something belong to the set. It's just the kid building freely a house, and that's just the way it works, Lego. And I think what I also see with modern Lego nowadays, that they have all these sets for mostly for adults, and they just put them in the shelf to look at, to watch, but not for playing. And I think Lego is a bit like forgetting about its own purpose, its own smart, creative, the way it was invented. Oh, and then we already go immediately to the pirates. It's interesting that Lego catalogs are sometimes really arranged in a different way, because I think pirates are also sometimes coming after the trains, I think, but now they just decided to start with it immediately. And so I don't have a lot of Lego pirate sets, only a couple of small ones, but I was not really like into pirates. But I think it's still one of the greatest themes of Lego. When you just think about it, like, I mean, this is just what kids like. It's really what I liked also. I mean, I didn't like pirates so much, but there was, of course, a time in my life that was just playing with kids and playing pirates, that's just like a very common theme. And what I know now about the modern Lego is that they don't really have that anymore. Maybe some special sets sometimes, but they don't have this theme anymore. And I think the problem is that it's all replaced by licensed themes. And it's a pity, because I think Lego from itself already has so much opportunities to make teams like this, and they really don't need all this licensed stuff. Of course, it's a good way to make good money. Yeah. But yes, I'm just skipping a bit too fast now. It's a very nice thing. So, and like these boats, I think this is like a very wanted set, like a collector's item. I think it's quite difficult now still to collect this ship together. I remember some friends had this also. It was already back then quite impressive. And yeah, there's even another ship here. So this is the pirates, and this is the soldiers, like colonial power. And yeah, very nice, very nice. And then there's the knights and the forest people, and different kind of knights, and nice castles with this famous mountainous base plate, which was very efficient to get immediately this mountainous feeling, like a castle on a mountain, without needing to use a lot of bricks to build that mountain. So yeah, March 1st. it had the first 2 victims of the Bosnian War. So I guess basically that's the day that the Bosnian War started in the Balkans. I guess the definition of war is that people die, right? So March 1st, 92, it was a start of a lot of horror, I think, for a lot of people. Ethnic cleansing and genocides and everything. Yeah, I remember I think it was 96 or 7, we got a new guy in the class, and he came just from Sarajevo, like a refugee, and he had these horrible stories. Yeah, so that all started in March 1st and took a couple of years. I think it was first in Bosnia and Croatia, and then it moved to Kosovo, where it kind of ended. So, but I remember 92, it was all the time on the news, and it was also so close, and like I just mentioned, like the European Union was just founded, and it was actually the purpose of the European Union to avoid these kind of things. But yes, of course, the Balkans were just not still included in that whole thing. It's very nice to see now that most Balkan countries, I think the half of them are now in the European Union. Yeah, let's hope that it really is meaning that that really is avoiding any new conflicts again. Yeah. So and this time it fits a tiny bit to the Lego nights thing, also fighting and so. But of course, it is toys, and they will not do such terrible things to each other, I guess. I mean, they always start with a sword made out of plastic, so it would be not so terrible, I think. And then there's Paradisa. I also remember that. So I think this was just like, like a theme that was specially meant for girls, to get girls more involved in Lego. But I think my opinion is that toys actually is not very bound to one of the genders. I think kids are easily just playing with whatever they like to play with, and so I think this is still something in the 90s that it was still like a bit separated, and what you see nowadays is that things get more unisex, and that kids just play with everything it is like. This box thinking is just a bit gone, fortunately. That's a good thing, to have just this freedom as a kid to do what you want, and not as a girl being bound to only pink and horses. But maybe girls still just like horses more, if you look to the statistics, because it's also a bit about caring, and I think girls just like to be more busy with caring for things, for animals, or for other things. But this set was actually, I always found it quite interesting. I don't know if I didn't dare to buy it because I thought it was just for girls, but I mean, this is the whole thing. Like, if you create a theme that is only for one gender, then it's a bit like you're out ruling other people, So I don't think it's a really good thing to do. But yes, but I think in general, this is a very nice theme. I really like this combination with pink, and there's, I think, another color, maybe purple, I don't know. but it's light white and pink and gray, and then this beach setting or this horses, and it's basically just normal Lego, like Lego City stuff, but then with a pink touch, because if you would change the colors, it would easily also fit in Lego City. Yeah, so here we have Miniland. I don't know if this is a Dutch name, but I thought it was always kind of like Lego City or Lego Town. But yeah, maybe Miniland, it could also be like an international name. So the new sets are actually this Octon. I think Octon, this fictional brand, this oil brand, was introduced in '92. They had before like a cooperation with the Shell company, and I think because of things that happened in Africa with people living in problems, in trouble because of Shell taking oil from that land, they discontinued this cooperation, and they what I find is a smart move. They just created their own fictional brand, yeah, Octan, and then it I think they still use it nowadays, still, this Lego Octan brand. Yeah, and this harbor was also, I remember this, very nice, very, yeah, a lot, big, 2 ships. I think I also knew a friend that had it, and yeah, another, you could even expand it with another harbor part. So July 13, Rabin became president of Israel, and as I remember, there was a time in the history of Israel that I think things were looking very good regarding to peace with the Palestinians, and there were some really good improvements for both people, and I think it ended up also on some point in this Nobel Peace Prize with Arafat. And yes, I don't actually know what happened. Yes, Rabin got killed. He got shot. And maybe that was just the moment that all the hope and everything, what was just still possible, just quickly disappeared. But let's not focus too much on politics. But I remember Rabin was quite adored by most people. And yes. So there we have more Lego City sets. Yes, and what I just mentioned before, like this set, it could also have been in this Paradisa. It's very similar to this set. Yeah, if it's just, instead of the red, just would have had pink. So this is what I just was saying before. This Paradisa actually was also a great theme, and just everything pink, which is can be a nice color, of course. There was even like a house here. This is, I think, especially now, a problem that in Lego City you don't really have like buildings where people actually can live, and Yeah. Oh, I forgot to show another one. So this is the only we had the knights right before already. Yeah, we had the knights before. So this is the only knight theme set that I have. And yeah, so from the Lego City, what I see here on the page, I have this set from 92. And also this set, I also have it. And if we didn't build it yet, then we're going to build those sets very soon. And then I see also and I think this was actually on the previous page, this Octon truck, which has a bit these giant stickers. So the one I have doesn't look probably that good anymore, because we all I explained already a couple of times in my previous videos what is the problem with all those stickers, that they just get old and don't have this new look anymore. Yeah, and the surf and sail, we already built it before. And it's also displayed there. Yeah, a lot of variety, a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm still in my mind, in my brain with the. I still have on my mind this the thing I was just recording before, the Lego catalog from '99, and I'm not very coming now from a very objective point of view, and the airport shuttle, the monorail, very famous, very wanted. I think, I'm not sure if it's a used set, but if you buy it, if you want to get it, maybe new, I don't know. I don't think it's possible to get it new, but if you just want to collect all the pieces of this set together, it's a value of 4,000 euros. And I think back in the days when it was available in the stores, it was maybe, we had another currency, but I guess it was like something like 200 euros or something. So that's just some Lego sets, they just get a 10 times more value because they have just some parts of pieces there that are just very rare, or only wear in that specific set. Yes, and then you also had the monorail, for sure we will talk more about it. We're going to build it. I have it, and it will take maybe a couple of videos to do that all. I still have to find the right moment to do that. I have to think about how to shoot it, because if I want to build the entire thing, I'm still not very sure if it will fit on the table. So I have to find out how to do that on a nice way. Yeah, and then you also had an airport with, I think it's like 6 base plates. So yeah, huge. Not as big as the monorail set, but yeah. Very nice, like a space shuttle. I don't know how they called this double helicopters. This one has sound, I think it is, or it's just light. both. It's like it's a sound and lights, and it's also the same for this one. There was quite a thing in the 90s also. You had some sets, some fire guard and police sets that had lights and sound effects. Yeah. Yes, and then you even had the expansion set of the monorail. I also have it. Yeah. So those tracks are quite expensive, especially the straight tracks. If you buy them now, then yeah. Yes, and then we have, this was my thing, the Lego trains. So those trains were these 9-volt trains were introduced in 91. So this is a year later. So I guess for the train teams in 92 there was nothing new, because basically the entire thing, the entire batch was new in 91. This freight train is the only thing I don't have, I think. It's crazy, I think I have everything. No, on the station. But the freight train, I really am considering to, on some point, to collect all the pieces, the parts, and then also to make a building video with this. That will be very nice, because then I have this first batch of the 9-volt train theme basically complete. What I don't have is this station also, and the rail crossing. And the station, I think, is also something interesting. Yeah. I mean, look at this scenery. This is very nice. Of course, they added some lights that are actually not available. This was with the previous system, the 12-volt system. Then you actually had lights, and you could actually lighten up your stations and your trains and everything. And it's a pity that they actually didn't continue with that anymore. They could have easily have done that also, I think. But for some reason they chose for not to do that. Only the trains, the locomotives, they had sometimes in the 9-volt, they had sometimes, like here you can see it, they had sometimes headlights that were actually functional. Yeah. Yes, there I have great memories of that theme, of this Lego trains and this Metroliner. I'm looking very forward to build that one. I'm not sure when I can do it, because I still have to find all the bricks together. I think there's 1 or 2 pieces missing. So the crocodile locomotive, we already were building it. And then there were these ships, the ships that could actually float. And I have the fireboat. And yeah, I still have to find a way how to build it and also present it. Like, maybe I can do that somewhere where there's like a pool or something. I was thinking about this, but it's of course more hassle to do that. So I have to figure out how then to film that. But it would actually be nice, because it's one of the functions. It's the function that it can actually float. Yeah. Those other boats I didn't have, but I only have this fireboat, which is actually the biggest one. Yeah. Space, Lego Space. Yes, that was a great time also in the 90s with Lego Space. Very nice designs, very nice spaceships and other vehicles. And then you had this different, how you call it, like armies, space police, Metron, Mtron, I think is Mtron. So, like I already mentioned a couple of times before, I was not really into the space thing. I have some sets, but maybe mostly only the small sets. And so this Space Police was a new thing in '92. So I guess every year they kind of replaced one of these armies with another one, a new one. The Blacktron, I remember, I think it's one of the most famous Lego space themes, armies, I don't know how you call it. But I only have this set. I did already build it in one of my first videos. And yeah. And yes, the monorail. I remember there was a Lego Space monorail, but I don't see it here. So there were 2 Lego Space monorails. I think one was just before, and maybe the other one just came after still. October 4, this was a sad day in Amsterdam because we had actually a plane that crashed on the city. And I also remember very well that day because I stayed with my grandmother and we just were traveling back. We traveled back to my mother's place, and then my mother and I think my sister, they were just checking the news, and there it was just all about this plane crash that happened in the southeast of the city. And I mean, this is rarely happening, right? That the plane is crashing on the city, on the neighborhood. I think 40 people died or something, which is still not a lot for thinking that it was just literally crashing in apartment building with multiply levels, like I think maybe 10 levels. So it's still a miracle that not way more people actually died there. But there was also something, a little mystery about it, because there was a cargo plane and it was probably transporting something that was like a secret. It was an Israeli, I think it's El Al, the airliner. And so there was a whole fake thing happening around it with people in weird suits arriving on the scene, searching for some stuff there. So, and I'm not sure, I think it's still not really clear what was in the plane. And also, I don't know if this is clear, but it was also weird because it just lost both of its engines. That's why it crashed. And I don't think this happens quite often with planes, that they just, I mean, they can lose one engine, but both, yeah. So there were a lot of strange things about this crash. And yeah, it was, I think, for sure the biggest plane crash in Holland on Dutch soil. But it was quite intense, and it kept the Dutch people and the politics especially also busy for many years. I think there were like many investigations and everything, and people died, and people also, I think, were injured, permanent, or got sick. I think there was also a problem with the kerosene, because the plane just took off to Israel, fully loaded with gasoline, kerosene. So yeah, that happened also in '92, the year of Blacktron. And there we have Lego Technic. And I think I already mentioned it before a couple of times, that Lego Technic was also not really my. I basically, for me, it was all trains and and a bit Lego City. But I had some Lego Technic sets. I also had some smaller sets. I actually have this set. And I definitely also want to build some of those sets in the videos, upcoming videos. Yeah, I really like this minifigures, these Lego Technic minifigures. They're not available anymore, and I really don't understand why they're not available anymore, because they're really well designed, and it makes the Lego Technic way more for playing, because I think Lego Technic turned more into static sets that you just put somewhere with a lot of functions, but you rarely actually do something with that. And I think these Lego Technic figures, they just made it more playable. And that's why I find it really strange that they just took them out, and yeah, that they basically never returned anymore. And there's more Lego Technic. Yes, and when there's a little figure inside, it just makes it a bit more complete, and that just makes totally sense, and it makes it more playable and more joy. But yeah, it's a very nice sets. Like a boat with a crane. It's a bit minimal, this boat, of course, but okay. But for example, this SUV looks very nice. And I think back then, you could really see how things work, and you could really learn from how things function. And I think the modern Lego Technic, it's more like design, and more like you can also not really look through anymore. They covered everything with nice outsides. So, but I think the thing that you could actually look inside and see exactly what happens made it a very nice thing. I think I also have this set, by the way. It's kind of a buggy. Yes, and then November 3, there was an important day in America, because Bill Clinton became president, defeated the then sitting president Bush Senior. We already mentioned him in the first event, declaring the Cold War to be over. But of course, I have a lot of memories about Bush. It was in the time that I grew up, and if you thought about America, you always had this image of Bush. Yes, but of course Clinton. I have a lot of memories about Clinton when I grew up. Yes, maybe some things you cannot agree to him, and some things you can agree and everything. But I think in general, he brought a quite positive spirit, I think, and maybe also a bit like honest. Of course, politicians on that level are just quite good actors, probably also. But yeah, I think he was in general nice guy. I don't know. Yeah, it's always, of course, how you see it in which perspective, like I think from what we have now, I think Bill Clinton was a quite, you can say, at least a decent president. And yeah, he was young. He was really like more progressive than Bush Senior before, of course, because he was also from the Democrats, so more progressive. Yeah. I take a sip. I don't need to reach so far anymore. I just have it now standing here. That's actually a very good improvement for not getting dehydrated. Yes, and then of course there's more advanced Lego sets, Lego Technic sets. A car with a crane and this helicopter. I think it's kind of a rescue helicopter. And I actually own this set also. And I think I remember it's actually a really nice set because it's not too big, but it's quite big still. And of course, colorized, it's nice. And as I see this set now, I think this is maybe one of the sets that I want to build quite soon also, because I think from all the Lego Technic sets that I remember, that I have and that I remember of, I think this is one of the most interesting ones actually. Yeah. And this car, I also still remember it very well. I think it's actually a quite old set already. I think it's already a set from late 80s, and clearly it was still available in 92. And you can also see it a bit because the design is still a bit like basic, because this is how Lego Technic started off, how it started. Like, it was very simple. And then later it became, if you look at the other sets here, they are looking way more advanced and way more filled up with stuff, And this is just basically like almost open everything. But it's interesting that it was still, for some reason it was still available in 92. And also I think this set, this drawing machine, I think it was also a set that was available for quite a long time. And I can also understand, because I think this control panel, I think it was specially developed for this set. I have this thing because it was also used for another set that I have with a flying helicopter, but it's on an arm, and it's a bit like in the movies, when they fly with a helicopter in the movies, they always have these things on arms. So it's a bit like a set like that, but a bit weird, because like the helicopter that I was showing before, this is way more nicer because you can really like walk with it as a kid and play with it, But so yes, it was also in another set, this control panel, and I have no idea if this works actually, proper to draw something, because on this tiny picture you see actually that they are drawing in a house with quite straight lines. So yes, to find the bricks and to try it out, I'm not sure. But maybe I can one time just browse the internet and a YouTube video and see if this set actually worked the way it was meant to. Okay, and then they had, I also remember this, but this was always also separately, always often included in sets. Just like, a kind of a list with things that you can order, like extra bricks. It was 92, it was like, this is what maybe some people just don't realize, but it was a time without internet. And this was the only way to do such a thing, to order extra bricks, extra pieces. And probably also had, you even had this this little tiny form to make actually your order, and then you probably had to send it somewhere. And I see there's like this kind of Tipex on it. So I think I already planned to use it, but then I didn't. Yes, and this is crazy. This is like, I mean, nowadays you just go on websites and just order those bricks. But here, this is just how it worked before, and you were just limited to the bricks that you see here. Quite random also, like it's just some things that you may need, but probably not everything that you need. Yeah. All right. And then we have the model team, which was always on the last page. But this is actually a really great set. I don't have it. I just saw it on pictures and in videos. But actually, I think the truck here, which is also, I think, dating back to late 80s, it's a very famous set. But the one with the helicopter is also quite, I think, quite famous and wanted, and must also cost a bit to still collect those pieces together and to build it. But maybe, I don't know, at some point. They are quite big, these trucks. Like not a very standard Lego scale. And they always promoted again the theme park Legoland. Yeah. And then, I don't know, you could probably also get like a discount if you showed this. Oh, this time maybe not. Yeah. All right. So, we had all the major events that happened in 92. We saw the Lego catalog of 92. Yeah, great year. It was a year just after my year, the 91 year, when this new Lego trains were introduced. So with Lego train wise, not so much things happened. 93 was the next year when new Lego train sets came again. So, but yeah, still great. The front, really, I still remember the front was, I think it's one of the nicest Lego catalog fronts designs, you know. Yeah. All right. I hope you liked it, this video. Please subscribe. It's very important for my channel to grow. And I wish you a wonderful day. Goodbye.